2, 1, go. Easy. Alrighty. So tonight I don't actually have the time in me to give myself a reset as a buffer. I do need to be up at a reasonable time tomorrow because I am going to be out all of tomorrow. Probably well into the evening, so there's a good chance that I won't be streaming tomorrow because I'll be at the football. So what I'll do is, if this one doesn't have anything in the adventure and I end up feeling like there's not much hope in the run, I will switch over to do a Yoshi run because I need to be doing those to prepare for ASAP next month. It's less than a month away, so I should be doing some more practice of that. Da-da-da. Alright. That does mean I'll have to do a little bit of switching around with my setup because I don't have Yoshi currently downloaded on Switch 2. I still have it on my Switch 1, which is what I will be taking down to ASM with me. Probably would be more convenient for me to just have it all on Switch 2, but well. I will have to check whether or not the case that I have, the carry case that I have, will be able to house the Switch 2. We've got a little bit to go. Whether or not I'll be able to get both the Switch and Switch 1 and 2. Guess I should ask ASM stuff, like what I'll be needing to bring with me. Is like whether or not I'll need to bring the dock or whatever, or just the Switch console itself, and maybe they'll have the dock trying to remember how it was when we did it at ASAP. I think it was I just bought my Switch and they had the dock and the whole setup ready for it. I think that's how it went. I think that's how we had it. Because it definitely would be much more convenient to only have to take down the consoles and like charging cables and like the controllers. Let me see. Is that the case in front of me? Maybe I can get them both down there. Well, I'll get them down there regardless, but it's just, in the one case, it would be much more convenient. Again, something I'll have to check in the lead up to the event. Alright, nice enough stats. Oh, come on, that's rude. We're doing so well. Alright, at least our stats are fine. They're pretty good stats. Don't know if it's my headphones or the capture card. Audio is a little funky. It could be a little bit of both. Alright. Now let's move on. Oh, I heard a whirler. Two of them. Nice. Let's go. Sometimes, well, somewhat rarely, they will pop out. It can be very annoying. Fortunately, that is not the world we live in. Huh. And thankfully, because it was a level 5, we do get another level up. And being at 17 special attack, I think that allows us the potential to two-shot the Squavit. But I think it's... could be a range? I don't remember exactly. Well, you kind of need some rolls to go in your favor. If you just like minimum roll, yeah, you're definitely not. Yeah, I just need to hope that in this run I don't have any, like, run-ending misinputs. Like I did last night. Yeah, last night what happened was I was using a choice item and I missed an input and unfortunately locked myself into using an electric type move against a trainer that had a ground type. It was rather unfortunate. And the 3 minutes I had ahead of my average all of a sudden went in the complete opposite direction. So hopefully we don't have anything like that tonight. We'll just have a nice, clean, and solid run with no misinputs. And nothing going wrong at all. Nice, we do get the 2-shot. Oh my, I went all the way to the side so you wouldn't run into me. Buddy. I did everything in my power to try and avoid you, but no, you were... Ooh. You really wanted to say hello. There's a special attack drop. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to require 4 hits now. Unless we get like a fortunate crit. That is always an option. Huh? Okay, it would have to be a crit now. Never mind. I swear though, if I saw that red text pop up on that fourth hit, I would have been rather annoyed. It has been all good. Slightly ahead of average because we were able to save probably about even. I was about to say a little bit ahead of average because we saved a turn on the squabble, but then lost a little bit of it. Running into the zigzagoon. I think 10's still too short for this. I think that was a pretty sad roll on the first one. Yeah. We good. And we have enough for a potential one-shot. I think that one was a crit though. Yeah. The double dialogue. Can we get a one-shot on this, please? Oh, so close. Still pretty good. Oh, now you this game has a sick sense of humor. Alright. At least a few unnecessary critical hits, but oh. We're at least able to save a little bit of time. It's the give and take. It's like, oh, you want to save time by one-shotting this? Alright, cool. Now you also get to crit when you absolutely do not need it anymore. Ba-da-da. Alrighty. Off to an okay start. One that will definitely take more time than not. And we'll see if it's going to continue that way. We would ideally get a convenient den, one of the two that is closest to the opening. And then, it'd be nice if we could get something good out of that adventure. Because yeah, I don't, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I don't really have the time to do a reset and another full run. So if there is nothing in this adventure, I am going to switch over to Yoshi's Crafted World, which is a speedrun that I will be needing to practice a lot more over the next month, because that is going to be my ASM run that I'll be doing. And I would like to put on at least a passable performance of that game. I was just rotating the stick. I was like, I wasn't expecting there to be an option to select. I don't know what it did in terms of speed, but I was just stimming. Oh, nice. You got the best one. Well, that's right in front of us there. Slightly to the left. So we already have everything set up the way we want it in terms of what Pokemon are going to show up here and what the various vendors are going to have. Thank you. I need to remember I don't have much time on that loading screen anymore. I used to have like an extra second in that loading screen to actually like drink coffee. I don't have that anymore. What is this game doing to me? Denying me my coffee. Right, usually that center is where we would grab a bunch of X items for the upcoming portion of the run, but we do not know what we are currently going to be running. Whether or not it's going to be a special attacker or a physical attacker, so we are just holding on for now. Until we know for sure what we're going to be running. Alrighty. That's one thing I'm kind of looking forward to, but also not looking forward to when I start getting more into Scarlet and Violet speedrunning, is just how different it's going to feel to do a lot of the menuing, because I don't get to do the double inputting the same way that I do in Sword and Shield. And also, if I recall correctly, you don't get what's it called? Like multiple A buttons, essentially. Mashing through this game is quite easy, especially with the turbo function, because there are multiple buttons that count as A presses, like both triggers and also the A button. And the most optimal way to actually scroll through text is to be mashing while also holding A, if that makes sense. So the way I tend to do it is I'll have one of the triggers being that's going to have the turbo function, so it is going to be constantly mashing while I hold that down, and then I also just hold the A button. So I've got one A being held, so it's going to be scrolling as fast as it can across the screen, and then I've got the other one mashing, so it's going to be going to the next dialog box as soon as it can. And in Scarlet and Violet, I'm pretty sure I don't get that same kind of mashing through dialogue. I think you just get the one button. And for the double inputting, I can still do it, but I can't do it with the right... Oh my god, that's paralysis. I can't do it with the right stick. I have to do it both, like with the left thumbstick and the D-pad. So it can make like the hand positioning a little bit awkward to try and get that done. Whereas it's very easy in this because I can just use my right thumb on the right stick and then my left thumb on the D-pad to get the double inputting. Right, just buzz through paralysis twice, and we'll be fine. There's one. Come on, you can do it one more time. Yes! Nice. Paralysis did not make us lose any time. Well, I think it loses like a fraction because it's like a little bit of a lag at the start of combat. But it didn't make us lose any turns. And at the very least, against that Nickit, it is always, well, I say always, most of the time it is wanting to be using quick attack, so you are always going to be contending with them going first most of the time anyway. Alright, come on. Ah! You're attacking. Please attack. I need your help. I've had my stats lowered. I need your help. Please. Oh my god. Buddy, what are you doing? Thank you. Got there eventually. Took their time getting there. They got there. Alright. Now we get to finally make our way to the DLC area. After we interact with this. Yeah. Just trying to remember I have all the right cables that I need for the other switch. I think it's still plugged in. I just need to switch over the HDMI. move my coffee so I don't knock it over. Nice. Alrighty. Time for the moment of truth. Do we actually get a run? There's actually like quite a few Pokemon that I wouldn't mind running, but it's whether or not we can actually have them show up. When I say like quite a few Pokemon, in terms of like the ratio of runnable to not runnable, it's definitely skewed much more in the favor of not runnable, but we get to, there's like 10 slots in the adventure, so surely one of them is going to have something. Like, give me like Indeedee. That was close. Give me another special attacker. And something like Toxtricity, X-Cloud, something that can Boom Burst. What are we working with? That is a Marshtomp. That is very good. That is actually like ridiculously good. Where are you? Marshtomp. Alright, so time to start attacking my allies. Good damage. I'm gonna do a little bit to you. Okay, you're kind of splitting up the damage all over the place. Oh, you used dive, didn't you? Fuck. Shit. I should have just finished off the Marowak. Regardless, if any of the allies do want to use them, I will be going after them with Giga Drones. Works for me. Oh, actually, I do need to deal with the what's-it-do-see. Oh, I do need to deal with this Hitmonlee, sorry. Well, either way, we're gonna have to deal with Hitmonlee because it was either. Shit. It was either going to be the Lickitung or Kraganol. Alright, that's one. Oh, Marshtomp has Dig. That's right, not the other one I was thinking. Come on. Come on, team, you can fall over. I believe in you. This is a little worrying. Please don't. Fuck. Not ideal, but I think we're still fine. Alright, just need one more. A little bit iffy, but because we do want to be using some of of our special attack, but what is it? It's minus special attack plus defense. It's impish. Level 65. 166, 135, 127. 1 and 90. Wait. We have 0 IVs in health. That's a little funny. Our attack, special attack, and speed are at 30 or 31. That's not too bad. We do mostly want to be focusing on using a physical, so we should be fine. Yeah, we're going to have Waterfall, Earthquake, and Ice Punch, and then Surf just for other things. Alrighty. We'll wait until after I've gotten everything all set up, and then I can do the evolution. This evolution. Alright, we want to. I think we're kind of. We'd rather use not very effective than super effective against Hop. Oh yeah, and after this fight, we'll be having some ads upcoming, so coming up after this fight, so way to get around them. You all know the drill. Subbing to the channel, Twitch Turbo, etc, etc. That can get you around the ads. Alright. Off to a decent start. Not the best of adventures, but it's definitely serviceable. And we have a damn good Pokemon. taking the wide angle here to get around. These zigzagoons. That's 2 zigzagoons just this run. Don't you start moving, I swear to God. Funny little guys. Right, just trying to use as little super effective as I possibly can. Although weirdly enough, grass is a type that we don't necessarily have the best options. We can only have not very effective or super effective, which is a little weird. I remember if there's some other things that I do need to be picking up, and I don't think so. I think we're pretty good for the most part. Just looking through the notes, seeing where. Yeah, what we have. Not too bad considering I got crash tackled by a zigzagoon. What did I say my attack was at? It's at 30. Yeah, that's fine. Let's click on that. Wait. Let's see what we have. Ugh. Oh yeah, I don't need to catch anything in Route 8. I could just use the Litwicks that we'll get during Kabu's gym. I think I'm starting to look maybe too far into the future. I need to be focusing on what is literally right in front of me. I'm sending them all over the place. I'm sending me all over the place, I should say. Once. Again, thank you, Ruler, for being very kind to me this evening. Alrighty. I'm just gonna spam Waterfall because that's what I got. The coverage is weird into grass types with us. need to look at where our speed's at. So I think we're gonna need to buy some X speeds a little bit later. It's gonna take us a while to get our next level up because there's not a lot of experience that we're being given. Now that I scroll all the way down to the bottom, time to scroll all the way. Don't know what the hell I'm doing. I think we're at that kind of speed range where it's not really worthwhile investing carbos when we get to Winden, and it's just like, just deal with being slower than some things, use X speeds. I'll have to make sure once we get closer to it and we start getting some of those extra levels, see where it puts us. Yeah, because I do end up getting like a little bit of extra experience, especially because I got like the 2 large candies out of the adventure. Maybe. Oh, needed that. Alrighty. This is another fight we can afford to use Ice Punch on the Raboot, because we still outlevel things quite significantly that we can use not very effective and still be fine. I think by Hop 5 we can't be really getting away with that. And we have to just start using super effective, unfortunately. Love the squad. I mean, that's a gold. There was like crits and all sorts of jank in there. I mean, I'll take it, but let's grab this. It's a nice cheeky full heal. It's probably going to be a little bit more important considering I'm going to be slower than some things later on while I'm trying to set up. It does kind of screw with my boost timings though. But I'm just so used to having boost at specific times, and then it ends up not being there. Is it a little bit later because they take slight detours? Nice. Gotta be neutral on all this. What am I doing? Oh no. Please don't screw with the timings too much. Alright, fine. What the hell is that? Alrighty. Alrighty. Nice. It could have saved so much more time if I didn't just like grind up against that platform for like a solid few seconds. I was stun looking myself doing that. Like, what is going on? It made no sense. Alrighty. Only a bid. Thank you so much for the reward. We'll be taking our dub and moving on. Sorry, I've gone a little bit slow. I'm just kind of trying to sort some things out for my ASMR. Like, how I want to do commentary and stuff like that. Just putting some notes together for that. Because that's one thing I haven't really thought too much of just yet is, like, I know how to do the run. One thing that I haven't nailed down yet is how I want to do the performance. Like, how do I want to do intro? How do at what points do I want to be talking about various tech in the run? So on and so forth. Because there's a decent amount of things to talk about when it comes to the Yoshi run. I don't think necessarily enough to to fill the entire 2.5 hours, but enough to cover most of it. Right, I'm going to use Earthquake for this one because we are going to be knocking out, well, we're going to be using a spread move twice in a row to take out both opponents twice in a row. But Earthquake is slightly better than using Surf because on the second hit, we would be if we were using Surf, we would also be hitting Hop's Pokemon. But by going for Earthquake, we whiff, we miss the flying Pokemon, so we don't have to get the added animation of knocking out an extra Pokemon. We just get a little bit of extra dialogue from, we just get that very small blip of an indicator saying that it missed. Which is only marginally better than the alternative. Oh, I thought I had room. I did not. That's 3 Pokemon to run into now. Damn. Two Zigzagoons and a Choodle. Alright, we have to use Earthquake here because we cannot use water on the Kroger because it's got dry skin. No, probably could afford to go back to using Surf for these two. Oh well. It's all good. Still decent enough. And still technically gaining time. There's like kind of a middle section, like from like Kabu all the way through to Ryan, maybe? Would maybe Piers? I don't think we're going to be I don't think we're going to be saving too much time. This is going to be very kind of standard. But where we are going to save time is when we get to Ryan. That gym is going to be really good for us. And then also, like, the late game. We should be able to blast through a lot of that. Having both Surf and Earthquake, it's pretty good. Actually, I'm going to check something. Alright, we want Litwicks here. Not only for like the EV side of things, like it's nice to get a little bit of extra special attack, but the main reason that we want these is because when it gets to the section where we need to have extra Pokemon for gyms with double battles, we prefer to, like, we can just grab these two Litwicks and we can have them with us, but if we were to go for the Sizzlepedes, they would evolve in the time that we'd have them, and we don't want that. Right, fire we only have super effective or not very effective, so I'm just gonna go for the waterfall, which means we don't end up hitting the roly-poly as well. Thank you. Right, again, we're going to have to use a lot of super effective or not very effective against a lot of the fire types, but we do have enough attack that we can have a neutral Earthquake against a Center Scorch and still take it out. So I'm just going to use Earthquake on everything. There is going to be the attack drop from Arcanine's Intimidate, but Earthquake is still just very good. It's maybe a little bit busted. Intimidate. He does it. A few cheeky golds, just alternating green and gold. I don't know why I have some of the best showing for this run, just because it's unobtainable. There is no run that is ever going to get the best time on every split. That's just not how this category functions. There's, with every Pokemon, good or bad, there's going to be taking all the fights just the slightest bit differently. And some of them are going to be absolute winners for like 90% of it, but there's always going to be at least one fight where there's going to be another Pokemon that is going to do it better. Alright, let's get a little cheeky death walk going. How about I do it correctly, like that? What the hell? I may have missed an input. Alright, we go for the growl because if they go for counter, we don't want to be attacking into it. Hey, Cobalt. Well, come on in. Hope you're doing well. Spent the last hour getting your butt in Mahjong, but doing pretty well otherwise. All good. I had a similar experience playing Street Fighter most of the afternoon. I was having a rough go of it. Sometimes you just have those days where not a lot just wants to go right. The hands just don't want to do the things that you want them to. Kept being greedy. Yeah, I get that. It's like, surely this time. Surely this time it'll pay off. Swap the lad in back to party. We're good to go. Should have gone for this small loss that kept discarding into other people's win conditions. Ah, yeah. Like, I know how Mahjong works functionally, but I just haven't really been bothered to try and learn the strategy. I'm just like, it's just... I'm fine not. It's like whenever it shows up in an RGG game, I'm just like, I can't be bothered. Don't get got. And yeah, you kept on getting got, unfortunately. Bum, bum, bum. Alright. Pretty sure. Faint? Why are you doing that? Hmm. Let's just get that meter skip so we can save like a whole minute. I didn't even give myself the chance to use the boost, so, whoops. So when is this PNG getting knife card and buff capability? It already has one of them. But I keep on forgetting to... I accidentally had the colors inverted. But one of them does exist. So I need to actually talk with instead of running into one, but... Let me just make sure I'm not talking out my ass. This one? Yeah, that one. It has that one, but as you can see, the colors are inverted. Yes, it is the knife. I can have it on. Are the colors inverted? Yes, because... Like, let me just show you quickly. Where is it? So, if I'm not talking... Well, colors, inverted colors as in, like, the brightness. Like, you see how, when I'm talking, it's, like, the more saturated? But if I do it the other way around, I have it so when I'm talking, it's the lighter one. Which is not how I mean for it to be. That is fine. The knife exists. The cards... I'll get there. Then the buff. I don't know. Yeah, it's not like the most noticeable, but it's something that it's like, yeah. I don't necessarily have like the distinction between the talking and non-talking. Like the color of, like the color saturation. I don't have it like too much, but it's enough to be like, if you're paying attention, you can kind of see when I am or am not. It lights up essentially. Yeah, the buff is. Don't know how I'm gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna get that one. Yeah, something like that, but... Yeah. Maybe. Who knows? It's just, at the moment, the money I have for commissioning artists is little to nothing. Because I have a lot of things coming up. Like the ASM trip, which is, still need to make sure I have money for that. And then later in the year there's OHN, which is a fighting game event in Sydney, which I need to have money for that as well. Which just means that I have much less money for commissioning artists than I would like. Or much less money for doing anything, really. Ah, big crit. Yeah, most of my money this year has gone into ASM trip, OHN trip, and the Switch 2. That's about it. That's where the sheer bulk of my money has gone this year. And there's a way to you can slightly speed things up, very minorly, by bouncing off one of the roof spikes or roof corners, because it gives you a little bit of an extra push downwards. But it's not really all that necessary. It's like you don't really need to do that. You can just use Earthquake to get through all this. We'll see how many baby doll eyes we get by when it comes to the Mimikyu. What ability do we have? Still have Torrent. So we still have Torrent. No baby doll eyes yet. Turn claws. No Vervidol eyes. Thank you. What was that speed? 111. I always forget just how much how many base stats into offenses Swampert gets through the evolution. It goes from, at Marshtop it's got 85 base attack, 60 base special attack, and then on evolution it goes to 110 attack and then 85 special attack. So much, what the hell? And then 20 in both defenses. 30 in base health, and then 10 in speed. So it is still a little bit sluggish, but... The base 60 is about as low as I'm willing to go for this run. Because even though we have like neutral nature 30 IVs, we're still going to be struggling in some areas and requiring some some boost. I think I could afford to get maybe five covers and the rest of the proteins when we get to Winden. Alright. Also, at the end of this fight, we're going to have some more ads. You know how much we love those. But again, it's the perfect time for it. This is a whole lot of dialogue going on, so here they go. Beep 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 beep. Ba-ba. Bum bum ba-da bum bum. Now for an easy gym of spamming surf until we get to Oberla herself. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Alright, just gonna give us stamina. We have 4. Welcome back. He's gonna do anything. That's the flatter. Ow. Nice. Only one self-smacking. Ba-da-da-ba-ba. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Right, so this. Score the cup. Yeah, very simple. We most definitely have to be correct with the question with this one because we do not have a lot of speed to work with. Right. Ask your silly questions. Not the worst we've had in this gym. There's definitely been some more awkward encounters in here, but we'll take it. And usually a lot of the stalling and the awkwardness is mostly around the Morgul. Opal herself is like reasonably straightforward if you're playing it smart, which I often am not. Alright, so let's go. A couple of cards back and a colours and a few speed. Right. We'll need to get some full stalls, or maybe it's like one or two. I don't really need too many of them. We're durable enough that we don't have to worry too much. Click buy some items. And I get the two guard specs. One of them is for the Eternatus raid section, and the other is actually going to be for Alistair, because I would like to set up, but also the Dust Noir is wanting to lower my speed, and I do not want to allow that. Can go up at 120. Well, yeah, we'll definitely be faster than that. Now I'm thinking whether or not I should be getting the extra rare candies. Yeah, I think I will. just trying to remember where my convenient level ups are later on, because having 2 large experience candies does, and also already using one to get the evolution does kind of shift things around a bit. Alright, we can just earthquake this entire fight. One of the few grass types that we have to contend with post Milo. I was already going to be using super effective, so I might as well just keep it going. A little bit of a time loss to grabbing those items. But we should be able to bring quite a bit of that back if we don't run into any Pokemon in this route, because we don't need to catch anything. Alrighty. Don't need the defense. Alright. So far so good. We haven't seen too many annoying Pokemon spawns just yet. Like, if it's all Boldors, Boldors, Ponyards, Togedemaru. Alright, that's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, we don't have the freest of fights as we would if we were running Sword, but we should be okay. Melanie. How am I doing this? Just need to get through this. Like that. Like that. But I think I did take a little bit longer than I would have liked, so I will probably have to take the slightly longer route. Should be able to get past you here, yeah, but I'm definitely not going to be able to get past the next one. It'll force me on the slightly longer route, but it's fine. Yeah. Nice. I think even a neutral surf, like +0 surf, will be able to take out the ice cube. Because I don't want to be hitting into it with a physical. Yeah, nice. Now we can just earthquake. Nice. Very good. Should be like almost almost -2 minutes. We saved like an entire minute on our average there. Hell yeah. Alright, it's gonna be very simple. We'll just use an X special attack and then spam surf. Makes it very simple. Bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Mhm. Ba-da-da, ba-ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Alright. Next special. Oh, that's fine. They didn't attack me. They just... they went Growl. That's like either Growl or Defense Curl at this point. Do they have Cotton Guard at this point? They might. I don't know. I was thinking, I was looking at the time, I was like, really? Feels like I'm saving way more time than I should be. Never mind, we're fine. Just a more normal and acceptable amount of time. Based on how I did that. I don't need to pick up the guard specs before mining, because I already bought a couple. Surf on this one. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Alright, thank you. Thank you. I can never be too sure with how late sometimes the hitbox will still be lingering. I have been burned way too many times in the past. Nice. Right, we'll surf here. Oh, they didn't torment. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Wait, I need to go here. I can heal during the double battle. Nice crit. Thank you. Surf on most of these. Surf on most of them. Waterfall the Weavile. I believe Earthquake the double battle. Yes, and use that double battle to heal up. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ah, yes, pressure. I was like, yeah, we don't need to. We have enough surfs because we have 4, and that even accounts for an obstruct from the Obstagoon, because we are going to be using Earthquake on the Skuntank. And we don't really need any boost for that. Earthquake, even at the -1, is still enough. Alright. This fight shouldn't be too bad. We just set up once. Well, we use the first turn where Scrappy will be wanting to use Fake Out to set up a next special attack, spam Surf on most of them, and then Earthquake the Skuntank. Or if we didn't get an Obstruct from Obstagoon, we'll just keep on spamming Surf. Yep. Hey, Martin. Switch 2 runs. Yeah, they are quite a bit faster. Turns out having pretty much everything load quicker makes a big difference over a really, really long run. Don't you dare do it again. Thank you. Yeah, so all of the menuing, like getting in and out of menus, is much quicker. Getting in and out of battles is much quicker. So if you encounter something, it is like instant. You get into the battle. It's not like this little bit of a delay. All of the loading screens, I'd say all. There's like some that are still like pretty long, but yeah, so many of the loading screens. Yeah, just so much of the game just loads much quicker. I think 340 is achievable. I don't think 340 is. That's just some of best when it comes to this category is quite misleading because not all Pokemon are going to take all the fights the same way. Some of them are going to be better than others. And even the best Pokemon, like I'm thinking Krookodile. Even Krookodile has some fights where other Pokemon will outperform it. So the sum of best is a little unrealistic. But I think it's possible to get under 350. Like, maybe a high 340 something. Unless you were just saying, just getting to like 340 something, in which case, yeah, I think it could. It can. Because there was a run I did last week. It was, in English, it was a fairly dodgy, it was a fairly dodgy run, and it still went to like 52, 53. What was the fastest on Switch 1? It was like a 357, I think. It was thereabouts. I think we were closing, like with the whole airplane mode tech that that was found out. We were only just getting like maybe a minute than what we were previously. So like before we found out about the whole airplane mode tech for the Switch 1, the best was like, I think maybe like a low 58. But then we were able to not only get it a little bit lower than that, to like a low 57, but also we're much more consistently getting under that 4-hour mark. And yeah, now with the faster loads and just how much faster everything is, yeah. And one of the things that is like the wildest about this whole thing is that this game wasn't even like announced to have like much, like it didn't have the same kind of update that Scarlet and Violet got coming to Switch 2, because like that one like kind of needed it, and also it was much more advertised. This was just, it wasn't even really something that I think we expected. Well, it's like, oh, all right, we'll see how it goes. And it's like maybe some things will load a little bit quicker. We'll see how that affects things. Turns out we're saving quite a bit of time. With improvements, they can go back to Scarlet Violet runs? Yes. That is something I will probably get into doing after ASM. ASM being mid-July. So I'll be looking into some things and seeing what I want to do with Violet runs, like late July, because I have other things that I want to be focusing on in the interim. But yeah, holy shit, Scarlet and Violet runs so much better. It's incredible. And yeah, a lot of the attention was on, like, coming to the Switch 2, a lot of the attention was going to be, of course, on Scarlet and Violet. But yeah, it's like so many of the other Pokemon games that are on Switch have also had the speedruns improved just because of faster loading and stuff like that. Shiny hunting has been made improved for some parts, but others it's made it worse. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen that as well. Weird seeing a gold on here for you. Yeah. It's been wild the amount of gold splits I get now. Because when I did my first run, the wildest thing, like, the very first split. So, the very, very first split of the run is defeating a Hop for the first time. And all there is there, from the starting of the timer, you have the opening movie, you have the settings, like doing all the settings, you go to talk to Hop in his place, we go and grab Leon, we get our Pokemon, we do a little bit of talking, we do our fight. Not a whole lot, you'd think, in terms of like how we could like save time. The average, my average in English was on the Switch 1 on that split. Let's do this. My average on that split was like a 9:30 to 9:35. It was like fluctuating between those. My very first run, doing it on Switch 2, that first split was a 9:15. I was like, what do you mean? 20 seconds? For what? It was wild. I was like, oh, I see. It's like, this is the world that we're living in. And I can definitely see that this is going to be a lot of time saved. Speaking of golds, holy, there's another minute. Having access to both Surf and Earthquake, and both being stab boosted, it's kind of nutty. Yeah, there's still like a decent amount of time that we can still save, just especially the Oleana split. That is where we're probably going to save a lot of time because my average got thrown way back thanks to last night. Do I need to actually buy any forest ones? I think I won't. I think I'll be fine without them. We still have 2 of the hyper potions. I need to check where my speed is at. And I probably will later throughout this route. Oh yeah. I forget that Pelipper has a base defense of 100. What the hell? Didn't help me when I'm just spamming Surf. $20. Ugh. Right, I'll still have to use an X speed against Hop. That's fine. Alrighty. Mine shouldn't be an issue. We just set up once, then alternate between Earthquake and Waterfall. Whoop. Mashing a little bit too much. Snarl, you say? Alright, so that's the Torment. Probably could have Ice Punch there. I'm gonna have to Ice Punch somewhere. Sucker Punch, huh? Nice. Didn't really ever learned the Arcanine route on SS. So sure I might learn this one. It's very, very, I find it very fun. It's almost like you've got an inbuilt randomizer for your speedrun. Just how the Dynamax Adventure works. It's like, what Pokemon are we going to be running today? Which has its pros and its cons. One of the pros is it has a lot of variety. One of the cons is it has a lot of variety. Sometimes I don't want the variety, I just want things to be consistent. Times we don't get that, but it's all good. It's like, why not take an RPG speedrun, which is already a lot of just number bullshit, and just throw some more randomness into it. Now, a lot of the scrutiny that I put into, like, the Pokemon that we get out of the Dynamax Adventures, like, I put a lot more scrutiny into it because I'm at that point where I want to be getting, like, the best possible times that I can. And at this point, it's, like, trying to close in on that 350 mark. But it is very possible to do a run. It is possible to get through the game with like probably at least half the Pokemon that they can find in there. Some of them will definitely have some struggles, but it is possible. What move was it I was using? I don't remember what moves they had. Was it Hammer? Yeah, it was Hammer Arm. This is a good water type, alright. Alright, at the end of this battle, well, once I hit the split button, we're also going to have some ads just so we can deal with pre-rolls for the rest of the run. And again, we will not be missing out on too much except a little bit of exposition and a little bit of yapping. Alrighty. This one put Solar Leon, or does it usually use Eternatus? I will wait until ads are done to actually answer that, unless you can actually hear me already. Alrighty. Right, things should line up so I can use the 2 rare candies. When I'm flying? Well, after I grab the rare candy, yeah. We'll probably lose out a little bit of experience because we're going to be like maybe halfway through, but oh, fine. Oh, and Roy, if you are back, to answer the question, yes, the Swampert can be used to solo Leon, so I don't have to use the Eternatus, which is nice. What's this? 134. But we'll be getting 2 level ups. I'm not too worried about being faster than the Salazzle, it's just the Frostlass that I'm worried about. Wonder who the 4th guy was in the champion tournament? I don't know. It's just some random... Yeah. Yeah, we don't even get to see anything about it. It's just like, oh yeah, Hop beat their opponent so quickly. It's like, we know it's not Bede. That's about it. Maybe there was, at some point, it was meant to be Bede. I don't know. And then they decided to go a different direction with the character arc. Who could say? Don't need that. Animated cutscene for battles like that, it'd be so cool. It will be, yeah. But then again, it's kind of what the anime is for, right? Alright, I'm gonna use the red candy here. What was Sword and Shield's anime for the champion tournament at the end? Head is fire? Hell yeah. Alright, we're faster than the Frost Slice. That's all we needed. Which means I don't have to actually do any setup. I'm pretty sure I also have enough attack to one-shot things. Especially Cynthia. Cynthia is always a favorite. Absolutely. We don't necessarily have the... Cool, thanks for the crit. We don't necessarily have the special attack to get the job done with just Surf. And it's better to not... Nice. It's better to not knock out the double wall if we don't have to. Alright, now I can beat Rip and Earthquake. Like, even through the Intimidate does just save us a little bit of time there, just because it makes it much less likely that we one-shot the double as well. It's like that nice middle ground where we have enough damage to be able to knock those two out, even through the Intimidate, but low enough that with the Intimidate it doesn't knock out the double. No Intimidate to save them there. Okay. We do have a decent amount of time for this next one. Alright, we earthquake everything except what's it? The Serena. We just ice punch it. Bum, 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 bum. Gonna be a great run. It's definitely looking pretty damn good so far. This is gonna be faster than me, but it's probably only gonna do like, I don't know, poison gas. No, just a little bit of damage. That's perfectly fine. I think it has like poison gas, like probably Venom Shock. It has Dragon Pulse, I know that much. Can't remember what else it has. But when it comes to fighting Oleana, you're fine to be slower than the Salazzle. Being slower than the Frostlass. Yeah, being slower than the Frostlass is where the issues start to come in, because the Frostlass has Will-O-Wisp, it has, I think, Double Team. It has a lot of just like really annoying shit that you'd rather not deal with. Noise. Noise, noise, noise. We'll see how these next fights go, because they're usually not too bad. Nessa is probably the most annoying of them. Actually, Nessa and Alistar, we're going to need like 2 turns of setup. Nessa because we need like to boost twice. And for Alistar, it's because if we try and just set up normally, we're going to have our speed lowered by a Rock Tomb, and then we'd have to try and boost our speed again. So what I'm going to do is use one of the guard specs that I bought. I ended up buying 2 for this exact reason. I have one for use during the Eternatus raid section, phase 3, and then the other is specifically for Alistar because I would like to set up, but I have to I have to not have my speed lowered. And I could just use an X speed, but it's a little bit quicker to use a guard spec and not have your speed lowered than to use an X speed, have your speed increased and then lowered twice. If that makes sense. So instead of getting the dialogue that you've had your speed lowered, it's like it ends up, in both situations, you end up at neutral with your speed. But by using the guard spec, you don't have it going up or down. Right. We should only need 1 X attack. But we're gonna get rid of the Moab first, and then set up. I was kind of thrown off by by whatever it is. I think it might have been Wish. Can't remember. I wasn't really paying attention. The whole animation of it just like ended so quickly. Alrighty. Big woman. We are going to be slower than the Barrascuda, but we were never going to be faster than it. Like, no matter how many carbos we ended up buying, we were never going to be faster than a bloody Barrascuda. That thing is real quick. Right, we'll set up twice. And it's mostly for the Glossopod, I believe. It's like the Glossopod and the Pelipper. The Dreadnought is definitely like pretty bulky, but a +2 Earthquake would usually take care of it anyway, but this thing. That's fine. Nice. Looking forward to Zahn? I absolutely am. 233 attack. Yeah, we're fine. I'm so bloody excited for Legends. What are you gonna do? Liquidation, that's fine. The one thing that I was hoping they wouldn't do would be Ice Fang and get a freeze, because that is a possibility. Fortunately, they did not do that. I was like they're one out. Okay, maybe dropping a little bit of time, but it's not too bad all things considered. So I had to do 2 turns of setup. Do we have a date yet? I don't remember. I think we might. It's later this year, I know that much. I remember if there was like an actual locked-in date for when it's coming out. I think there might have been. Right, another fight, we're going to do 2 turns of setup. Yeah. And we'll just spam Earthquake. Nice. And they didn't go for protect. I think because I have like Giga Drain, they're probably trying to do a lot of damage, which fair. They have the Chandelier. We only had super effective or not very effective, so I'm sorry. Then there is the Cursola. And now Gengar Opposite. Right, we'll probably lose maybe a little bit of time here, but the next fight will definitely bring a whole bunch back because we do not need to do any setup. We can just like Earthquake everything, Ice Punch the fly off. No, blow that. That 5-minute mark. You. Alright, and now we have super effective Earthquakes for the last 2. It's a wonderful. Alright, and the rest of the run is pretty straightforward because against Rose, it is just set up once, set up one X attack, and then spam Earthquake. And then when we get to Eternatus, we just Earthquake. And then when it gets to the raid section, we don't Earthquake. We use the God Spec and then start punching away. Oh yeah, we do want to be using Swampert for Leon. How do we do that? One X attack, 1 X speed, Earthquake, everything. Ice Punch the Rillaboom, Waterfall the Charizard. Easy. That should be a goal, right? A 0 setup fight? Yeah. By a bit. Yeah, the fact that out of the Dynamax Adventure, the Marshtomp comes with Waterfall and Ice Punch does elevate it above what the Swampert comes with. Because I think the ice move it comes with is Blizzard. Check. Yeah, it comes with Blizzard. It is much more, like, the moves it comes with out of the adventure, the Swampert is more built for special attack, whereas the Marshtomp is more built for physical attack. And fortunately for us, we're happy to use both. But focusing more on physical, especially if you have things like Earthquake. Especially with the attack stat that they have. It's not like the most, whoa, incredible out there attack stat, but it's perfect for what we need. And also, not gonna lie, it does get carried a lot by its type. We really do not have to deal with its weaknesses all that much. Alright, let me try and not run into things. I just went straight through that. I was like, no fear. Oh, there you are. Ah, that's a worse time to use that boost. But I will say that was probably one of the cleanest paths through the world I've had in a significant amount of time. I'm happy with that. It's the good dog, the good lads. Da-da-da. dragons managed to outdog the dog legendaries. Yeah. They do tend to be very dog-like. No, they'll fucking eat anything that they get their eyes on. Alrighty. Now the rose fight shouldn't be too bad. Ideally, what happens is they set up a sword stance while we are setting up our X attack. Like lore-wise, updating the shield feels better. Yeah, absolutely. But also, I like Zamazenta better. Yeah, Zamazenta and like the shield definitely does suit hot. Isn't it one of the more recent cards? Didn't Hop have Zamazenta? No, Mega Horn, that's fine. I know he always has his double and Wooloo, but I can't remember all of the Hop cards. It's hard to keep track with all of the TCG stuff that's coming out. Like, not just Pocket. Like the actual paper. The actual cards. The physical. That's the word I should be using. Like the physical TCG. Because there's it feels like there's always new stuff coming out. In the mobile game, Masters EX, that's the one. I knew there was something with him, with the Zamazenta. I was just trying to remember which form of media it was, because that's the thing with Pokemon. It's not just the mainline video game. There's so much. There's just so much. Zamazenta. Kind of bluey shaped. I can see that. I don't think I need to heal. Whenever it tastes like blue, what does blue taste like? It was poison. Cool. What was that? Yes, that was cross poison. It was either cross poison or flamethrower, and I was like, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's cross poison. I'm pretty sure that's the katakana for it. 352. That's interesting. Smash until we get the dogs in. Alrighty. Yeah, this run has gone pretty good. The adventure had a little bit of a hiccup, but it's been pretty good. We just need a few things to go right with this third phase. Have there been many submissions for Switch 2 speedruns? Not necessarily for this category, but for I think some of the smaller categories that some people have been doing some, or at least just I know there's a few Japanese runners that do just regular 80%. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember if they have actually submitted Sword Shield. But I think a lot of the attention so far has been on Scarlet and Violet for Switch 2. Which, honestly, fair. There's the Howl. There's the light screen. They're going after me. Hop's gonna smack him. Alright, I need a Terminus to not cleanse all our buffs off, because I need to get a hit in with this. Nice! So not only do I get to get a hit in with the Howl boost, but the dogs get to get another hit in with their boosts. And that is where the bulk of the damage is coming from. It's not from me, it's definitely not from me. It's from the dogs, like, behemoth blade, behemoth bashing them. And they didn't cleanse it up again! Oh, I love the time save. Holy, what a wonderful fight. That's about as good as it can go without any crits. The first submission for this category. For this one, yes, I've already submitted one for Shield in English, but yes. I've already done one for Shield and it was a fairly solid one, but, well, in English, but for Japanese, yes. I had done a few runs earlier, like late last week and most of this week, but most of them were sitting between the 55 and higher range, and I was like, I'm not happy enough with that. So I wanted to get one really good one in. And it turns out this could be that. Alright, and I don't have to use the Eternatus. Just a quick reminder, because this is for the Japanese leaderboard, I do have to wait until the end of the credits to qualify, not at the start. Make sure, yeah, it's the same amount of time setting up as it would be with Eternatus, but because we're not having to actually go into the menu to swap the Pokemon, it's just a fraction faster. And how much? Trying to think how much more or less super effective there is. I think it's about even. Right, one X attack. King Shield, you say? Daring. Ah, cool. He's off his sword, I'm sure. I don't think who would be running sword and shield. Because not too many people are usually running this game, that's for sure. But I think there were some people who... I do know that there were some people who wanted to maybe come back to doing some runs of this. I think Aspect was considering it. Da-da-da-da. Nice. Everything turned out just fine. Also, I do like that my summer best... Wait. I do like that my summer best is now a flat 340. Again, that time incredibly unrealistic. But it's very funny to look at. So I think it's going to be like a 352. Yeah, I don't think you're that far off. Lots of gold splits. Yeah. A lot of really, really good fights, and also just not having to do a whole bunch of stuff. Also, I am quickly going to go use the bathroom while we're waiting for the credits to roll. We've got a little bit of time. It's like 4 minutes 20, I think. It's usually how long the credits take. So, I'll be back in a sec. Alrighty. Oh, one thing I should probably do. Should move myself just a little bit so I'm not covering up where it's going to say the end. It's still noticeable even if I'm still in that position, but just to be absolutely clear. My big ass head, my big ass horns, and hair getting in the way. Find some MK World speedruns? Nope, can't do it, lol. Yeah. Yeah, I am not going to bother with like the time trials. I'm happy enough just messing around with what's it, Knockout Tour online. That shit is really fun, and also just messing around in the open world, in the free roam. There's so many of the strats in a lot of the time trials, and I'm just like, no thank you. They're gonna need to fix. You were right on the money there, Martin. Smack bang on it.